Hi, and welcome to another episode of Tim's Tutorials. Today we will actually be creating a groin vault. And if you're wondering what a groin vault is, it's basically what is sitting behind me right now. This particular one, I'm using a Gothic style arch, which is kind of like this in shape. And what we're going to be doing is this particular type build, it doesn't rely on a Gothic arch. You can also use a standard, just half a circle, or you can go to a higher peak that goes up a little bit more like this if you would like. It's all in how you, the person, wants to do it. But our final product is going to look very similar to what I have here, to where no matter what direction you come from, it looks like it actually belongs there. This piece merges with that one, this one merges with this one, and it comes out looking really smooth. Now, what I have here in front of me is just something I threw together fairly quickly to give you the idea of what you can do with this. This particular one, I made like a little tunnel system, and it's all kind of modularized and can be put together to form all different kinds of tunnels and stuff like that underneath the ground if you wanted to take the time to do it. So let's go ahead and kind of get started with this. You can kind of see the overall view on how this thing looks from above. Now, for this particular one, we are using a 25 by 25 quarter circle. So from point to point, it's 25 by 25, and the actual circle we're using is a 2 voxel thick circle, just like that. So, and I would advise, if you're going to be doing this particular construction, that you use a 2 by 2, or excuse me, a 2 voxel thick circle, or a 3 voxel thick circle, for it to come out looking good. If you try to use a single voxel thick circle, it does not turn out quite as well, and you're going to be fighting with it, and it gets ugly, trust me. Now, this particular tutorial is coming from Bobdob, and if any of you who have been around in the game quite some time, you know who Bobdob is. And I asked Bobdob if, hey, can I make a video of that? And he was like, yes, sure, go ahead. So we have his permission to take his online version of the tutorial, and we're going to make it into a video, one that we can paste into his text-based tutorial on the forums. Now, for this one, like I said, you can take a quarter circle. For this one, I'm actually doing more of a Gothic type arch. So I've reduced this down like so. So now we're going 25 by 15 as a selection here. So, and that's why it's colored in 2 different colors, because I wanted to let you know exactly the sizing that I'm using for this particular tutorial. Now, if I take that, and I've already got it vertical here, we have the vertical part of our arch here. I want to take this part of the arch, and I want to take my line tool to the very top tip here, and I'm going to expand it out larger than the end piece. And I'm going to click this a few times to flatten it out to make sure that I have a smooth connection point between 2 of them, like this. In other words, you have, instead of having this one off to the side, when I go to paste the next one, it would jar it over one side or the other. So we take our line tool to flatten out that end so that we have 2 points that connect together and they fit fairly snug, and it looks a lot better one way or the other. Okay, so once we have that set up the way we need it, we go into the actual construction phase of the groin vault ceiling. Now, we will be creating 1/4 of the total circumference of the inside of that section that I showed you earlier. And once we get that 1/4 done, we basically rotate it to create the whole entire vaulted ceiling. So let's go ahead and dive right into this. This is the arch that we're going to be using. So let's go ahead and make a copy of this. Control C to copy. And let's get over to a little area that we're not interacting with anything else. Okay, so we have that copy, and we're going to bring this out about 4 voxels worth, like so. And from here on out, we're going to do a single voxel up for the rest of the actual rotation all the way around this thing. So we're only going to take the bottom and just bring it up one, up one, up one, up one until we hit the very top of this this half arc. So let's do a copy and paste, and we're going to kind of rinse and repeat this all the way through, and we're going to do this a few times here. And I think at about that time we might just go fast forward, and so it's kind of a rinse and repeat till we get to the top here. But you know, I can assure you it will make sense. All right, I'm gonna try to blow through this. All I'm doing is selecting it, doing a Control C, and then I'm hitting Escape to deselect, and then a Control V to paste it, and then I'm using my arrow keys between tilde and tab to get this thing in the direction that I want it to go, or excuse me, using my tab key. So let's get up through here. But what this particular process is going to allow us to do is to have quite a bit of the unused portion just not be in there anymore. So when we go to do the smoothing process, we have less to actually deal with. But we need to keep as much of it as we can so that we don't have really bad deformations when we go to do the smoothing process. So it's better just to allow the smoothing process to take place and let it do its thing, to actually merge like this one section with the next one. And get this in here. Okay, getting there pretty good now. Almost to the end. Then we can jump right into the next phase, which would be the merger part. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab this one right here, just below that one, and paste that one in as well. And I think it would probably be nice to go ahead and grab these here, pop those in as well. Okay, so once we get to this point, we've got the vast majority of the hard work done. So we're going to copy this, paste it, bring it down, and in the direction of the curve, which would be in this direction here. It may be another direction for you when you're making it, but as long as you're in the direction of the curve this way with the curve, we're going to hit V. Now we're going to go to our rotate tool, and which is hit tilde and then hit tab until you get to your green, and turn it around. And what we're after here is we want teeth to teeth like this. So we have those jagged edges meeting the jagged edges. And I'm going to bring these together like so. See if I can get this kind of lined up here. There we go. But we want a smooth connection point right here. So we have one voxel overlaying the other right here at this corner. And if we come up to the top, you'll see there's a lot of excess back up in here, and we'll end up removing quite a bit of that before we actually do the smoothing process. But what we're after is this type of an overlay for this particular version. Now with a standard just half circle, you may not have to get to do half of what we're doing here, and that's why I wanted to do something that was a little bit more difficult, which was these with the little Gothic arches. Now at this point we want to uncheck the paste with air, so we're going to take this out and we're going to hit check, and that'll merge pretty much the two together, so we have something that looks kind of like this. And now we need to come in here and clean out the overlay, which is this right here, the stuff that's kind of protruding out. I'm going to hit delete, and I didn't quite go down far enough, so let's delete that one out. Now on this direction we're going to do the same thing, so from this point all the way down and out. I'm going to delete this. So we have something that looks pretty similar to that right there. And you can see all this excess up in here. So let's go ahead and try to remove what we can of it without destroying the rest of it. We don't want to have to, you don't have to take out a lot of this. This is just take out a small amount just so that the smoothing process kind of goes a little bit easier. So we're going to take out just a little. Like so. Now from here, the cool thing is I can take a section that's right here at the very top, and I'm going to bring this all the way down like so, something about like that. Actually we're going to make this two parts thick, so let me bring this back one. So we're going to grab a section about like that. I'm going to do a Control C, escape, Control V, and we'll put this into position to where it overhangs. I'm going to hold down Control and I'm going to click. I'm going to use the air this time, and I'm going to bring this down a little bit at a time, and you'll see that the voxels just below it will start disappearing. skip one. And the voxels up at the top there will start cleaning up just a hair. But we don't want to take this all the way to the end. We want to stop just before the very tip down here. So bring this down. And this should be the last one we want to work with. And we want it to stop right there. And for some reason, it didn't take out all the voxels that I was hoping it would, but that's okay. Let's just go ahead and grab this right here and hit our delete key. And right here, and hit our delete key. It has been a little bit finicky here lately, and not wanting to paste the way we want to. So let's go ahead and paste back over that one more time here. There we go. That way it kind of cleans it up just a hair. And we're going to have to do the same thing on this side here. So let's go ahead and grab this right here. Delete those two out. I think I've got one more extra there. Kind of clean this up just a bit. Let's bring that section that I copied over there, bring it this side. So there. Just kind of work our way down, making sure we try to get this as clean as possible here to the very top. And because we will not be smoothing everything as we're working this, so we're going to try to clean it as much as we can before we do the smoothing process. Now let's just grab just that one section there, hit copy, and I'm going to paste this on this very end without grabbing anything extra. So we should have something that looks something about like that. And I got one extra voxel there, so let's get that out of there. Now let's go ahead and come up here to the top. I'm going to grab a section here straight down, Control V. We'll bring this up into the air, and I'm going to stack one of these just like this, and I'm going to paste, and what that's going to do is create our little top part of the keystone, or the connecting point. And we'll grab this, copy, come up to the top, drop this down, and paste. That way we have a nice clean point up here at the top. Everything else should smooth out fairly quickly, and we shouldn't have too much to really worry about. Got a little bit of extra in there, so let's go ahead and delete this side out. Or at least try to clean it up as much as we can, so that our smoothing process will go by really quick. I think that'll look pretty good. Alright, so we get to this point and we're pretty much set to go. So let's go ahead and jump right into the smoothing. And here at the bottom we want to grab about right here, actually about right there, and we want to drag it over to this point right here. That way we're all kind of set. And the idea is to have one voxel hanging out on all points and having nothing but the selected area be right up in here. And you see I've got a single voxel hanging out here. I got a single voxel hanging down here. Single voxel hanging out here. And a single voxel hanging out here. And then back around to the other side. So everything else is going to get smoothed. So let's get in there and we're going to grab our smooth tool and let's go ahead and hammer this down a few times. You can see it's starting to clean up really nicely, get a nice, you know, smoothed interior part. I'm going to do that a few times and we should be set now for the most part. It's looking fairly nicely, and you can come in here and smooth this as many times as you would like. You can even go down into your alternate smooth, which is holding down F, and you can do this in small iterations just to kind of work out the little bugs and the little kinks and stuff that may not look right to you. And this will get this thing looking right nice and pretty. Now, pretty much to this point, we're all set to go to actually build the rest of it. But before we do that, let's go back to our original arc. Let's grab this whole thing. Control-C to copy. Now let's come over to the side of it. Let's do this one first. And I'm going to paste this one in to the last section on each end. So we have this one here. Let's rotate this. Bring this in. Out one, I believe. So we got that. And that kind of straightens it up just a bit. Makes it look a little bit better. And you can see we've got a little pieces that are kind of sticking out here. So let's get in there and kind of clean those up just a bit. So we'll take our deletion tool and kind of delete those out. And we may hit it one more time with the smooth tool just to make sure it's right the way we want it. So let's do that one more time. We'll grab to here, and then straight down. Everything but the bottom. One voxel sitting out in all directions, like so. Let's go to smooth tool, hold down F, and let's just baby this just a little bit. And this will get this looking right nice and pretty. Alright, let's escape out of that and let's go and paste this arc in one more time. You see, every time we smooth it, we're going to get some little crazy stuff kind of going on there. But cool thing is, you know, when I run into a bump and things don't quite go my way, you know, you can at least see what I do to kind of fix that. So I think what we can do in this case, we can directly select that one and just smooth that one voxel to get it to work out right. And that right there looks okay. So let's do that with this one. Let's smooth that one out pretty good. The rest of it's looking really good. Now here at the bottom, you can see I wanted to keep this in regular voxels because this is what we're going to connect it to whatever base. And let's go ahead and make a base for this thing. So let's go ahead and grab point to point and let's drop it down one voxel below that. Hold F to grab the opposing side, which would be the bottom. Let's bring this down and let's drop in this stone pattern. So we get something like that. Now I'm going to grab right here just above where we had that little weird looking voxel there. Grab just above it I'm going to copy that one voxel, paste, bring this up into the air, and I'm going to paste one, and I'm going to drop down one, and I'm going to paste another. And that way we get a nice smooth little curve there. Let's grab this, Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and I'm going to pop this in right there on that corner and go straight down with it. One at a time until we get to the bottom. And that way we get a nice curved edge. Like so. So we get a nice little curve going, kind of going in there. I've got a little bump there. I might have to replace the one just above that. Let's see if that took care of it. Yeah, nice smooth edge there. That's looking good. Let's go ahead and paint this. Let's see what it looks like. That's looking good. Okay. Now, I'm not quite done with this part yet because I could take this the way it is and I could make something out of it. Let's go ahead and grab this dark color. Let's go ahead and grab this top section, F, bring it all the way down, and let's paint that. So, I mean, I could use this just the way it is, but I don't want to. I want to give it a little bit more pizzazz and something to make it really stand out, just a hair more. So I'm going to go back to this shape right here, and I'm going to select this, copy. Actually, I'm going to go beyond this just a little bit. I'm going to come over here to our initial piece, which was this. I'm going to grab, actually I'm going to use my add tool, and I'm going to add one voxel to this end of it, and then over here I'm going to go up one more voxel, so we're using this white section here, so we have one extra voxel piece through this. Hit copy. Let's go back to our original piece here, Control V, and let's go ahead and get this thing rotated. Bring this down, and I'm going to overlay this by one voxel, like so. So we have it overlaying like this onto that original arc that we were using. And I'm going to hit check. Actually, remove voxels, take out the air, and then hit check. Am I on top of it? Yes, I am. And you can see I've got a little flakiness kind of going on there, but I might be able to clean that up. So let's grab this one, copy, paste. And I got one good side and one bad side. I'm not sure why it did that, but we're going to work with it. So I'm going to take the good side and I'm going to put it on the bad side, and I'm going to paste. And you can see I've got one that's looking really good here. So if I take this part, I copy it, I'm going to do a Control Z to back out of everything that I've done here to get back to this point. I hit paste. I come up with something that looks like this. Now, if I come over here with this piece, I should technically be able to paste this right in to the bottom of my little work here, like so. I've got a little bit of overhang there. I'm going to take my line tool I'm going to click on it right there. I should be able to delete this one and have a smooth little piece there, or something I can work with. Got some extra voxeling there. Let's bring this down. Use my delete key to kind of clean it just a bit there. Now, sorry about that. A lot of talking. My mouth is getting dry. So let me copy this side, paste it on this side. Let's rotate into this direction, V to mirror, and paste it on this side. Push it in and click. So we have a little bit of overlay there. That's looking a lot better. Let's take this original, after I deleted those earlier, let's repaste in there to see if I can clean that up just a little bit more. Because we did remove a voxel in that. There we go. That cleaned up real nice. Delete those two voxels there and use our line tool on it again. Alright. Now let's come over to this side, rotate, and do the same thing. Paste. Delete out the top. Use a line tool. And that side is not looking quite as good as the other one. But let's go ahead and let's copy just this side here. 2 voxels thick, like so. Control copy, Control paste. Rotate, tab, 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 and mirror. I'm going to drop this one in over here, right on top. See if that cleans it up. And it did. Look at that. Nice, pretty. Now we can come in here and we can actually paint this. And for this, let's go with some wood of some sort. We'll go with a light wood so you can see it. Can I just paint this up? All the way down. So now here at the bottom we have a set size. Now this bottom down here, I guarantee you, is not a perfect, well actually it is, it's almost a perfect voxel, but just in case if it didn't come out like that, we would want to copy this bottom voxel, copy, paste, and we're going to just paste this all the way down so that it continues on with the same shaping. We got lucky, but I'm just going to do it like I would normally do it, which is just copy that top one and paste it all the way down. Now I'm going through this little extra simply for one major reason, is because I want to kind of go into a little bit more detail with this on like what you could do. Now think of this as a possible top of a pillar inside of a building, or instead of just a, you know, catacombs or something like that underneath a city. You could use this for quite a few different things. But this is only 1/4 of a greater build. So let's go ahead and put this thing together and see what it looks like now. Now you can go in here and, you know, add more detail work, add more stone work, do different kinds of things with this. But, you know, just playing around with the design itself, you can kind of come up with some interesting ideas for this. So let's copy this and pull it over here to the side. And you see I don't have much excess kind of like laying around. And it just takes a little tinkering and playing with the different little aspects of it. I just drag this off to the side, and I'm meeting it point to point here at the top. Just drag it out, push it in, get it right. Paste arrow without voxels. I'm going to mirror this way. Drag this out and get it point to point for this. Hit check. Going to come here, mirror. I'm going to drag this out and hit check. Now you can see we've got a nice little beautiful design work kind of going on there. You know, don't worry too much about this little here on the outside, though. It's probably just my zealousness, and I got a little too crazy with the paint tool. But there you go. Get all that kind of handled and taken care of. This side looks okay, and over here I've got a little bit of paint to do. There it is. It's a nice groin vault ceiling, and at this point I can select the whole thing like so. Bring this thing up, make sure I've got it all selected. If I copy this, and I've got a little bit of, I forgot the paint there, but it's okay. You kind of get the idea, at least I hope. We'll bring this down, get it in line, and you can butt this up one side to the other repeatedly and come up with a really, really cool design that I think you will definitely benefit from, and things you can do. Let's bring this down. If I can get it lined up at least. There we go. And paste. Now look at the interior on how this thing kind of looks. I mean, everything kind of merges together. We've got a little bit of artifacting going on there. Just take your line tool, drag it across a little bit maybe, or do it like this, make it a little bit bigger, make it go in line the way it needs to be. Clean it up just a little. OCD will get you every single time. Get in there, clean this up just a little hair, and that'll be pretty much the end of this tutorial. But I think this is another really big step in construction. You know, making some stuff that really goes to the next level. And you can see, like here on the inside, we've got these pillars. I mean, you can push these way up in the air and then have these really intricate pillars that come down, and you can make these things massive in size. So you have these really cool and really beautiful groin vault ceilings. You can even connect all the points to the inside. I mean, you can connect from here to here, and then from this one to this one, and actually do some woodwork across that center. All different kinds of ideas, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video and me playing around with Bobdob's Groin Vault Ceiling. And you can see this was the first one I did, and here's the new one, and my little addition, you know, for the little inside railing there. But Thanks for watching the tutorial, and hopefully I'll get to see you in the next on the next one. Please leave comments. You know, hit the subscribe button. And thank you, and I'll see you on the next tutorial.
Yeah.